Oh, we lost him.
Hello, Court Vision is back in session. We're kicking things. Yeah, we're kicking things off with the 2025-2026 NBA season predictions, starting with the Northwest.
We can do that. I officially love the off the rails version of this episode already, featuring Tommy on God only knows on location. Kilroy, you seem to have acquired an intern, and
I'm clearly driving through the Riverwalk.
I think it's fitting for, honestly, not just for this division, but for this year. I think it's going to be an absolutely wacky NBA season, and I think we're going to be more wrong than we've ever been before. And I am so here for it. Let's do this thing.
Oh, you think we're going to be wrong? All right.
I think we're going to be not even remote. I have never felt worse about my picks. I will be totally honest.
Really?
So what you're saying is there could be a dark horse pick, like when I said the Kings were going to win all those games.
Yes, and then they came in 43rd out of 30th.
All right. Well, let's start with Portland, because that's the order that Kevin did it last year.
That's why we fired him. That's why it's not here for season 5.
So last year, Portland went 36-46. Aaron, you can't do that. I have them going 40-42.
Wow.
That's a 4-game improvement. What is wrong with you, Michael? The team did look better as the season progressed.
What happened, Michael?
They did bring in Dame. Yes, I understand he's hurt. And he will, he does bring something to the locker room, right? Even if he's not playing this season, right? Him being there should help them in almost like a player coach type of way.
Not just the locker rooms, but all our hearts.
They have a decent roster.
We have spiders here too.
We do have spiders here. They have a decent roster. It's but nothing spectacular. But I think that I think they should be able to get at least 4 more wins. They got Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson probably coming off the bench. That's Tommy. You got Matisse Thybulle, your defensive specialist. Jaden Sharp should take a step forward this year. Chris Murray is a solid wing. And and they got the young Chinese center who he seems amazing. I hope he turns out to be a good player, but just as a person, he's amazing, and I just love him. And I'm rooting for. At first I was like that was a weird pick, but now that this guy talks and everything, and I just love this guy. He's just got a wonderful personality.
You really nailed it. I'll be honest. All insanity aside of this episode and of this team with all the nonsense with who owns this team and everything else, they're very lovable. I super enjoy this team. But at the end of the day, even if they're better on paper, again, I'm glad we went with this team first because I get to talk about what I talk about every year. This isn't about power rankings. This isn't about, if we put it through a video game. This is about regular season wins when we do these episodes.
It's not about hope.
And anything Portland's going to gain by being better on paper, Anthony Simons was, the motor of this team. They are older. They are going to take it slower, and they're going to need some time to adjust. So I'm with Kilroy in that I think they are a better team. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to lead to any more wins. Vegas actually has them chilling around 34.5. Vegas thinks they're going to take a baby step back. I'm going to push. I'm going to take 36. I'll leave them right where they were last year. Give me 36-46, just shy of the playoffs. Better off as a franchise, but, again, for a team that isn't going to win anytime soon, going out and getting a couple old guys, I don't know if that was necessarily right for them. Tommy, what do you think about the long-term future here? I mean, you can give us the win total, but I wonder if they mortgaged the farm here for no real reason.
Well, I can't say I have a win total yet, but if I were to estimate, I'd say maybe not exactly where they were at last year, a little higher. I don't think they cracked 40 wins. I'm thinking 38.
All right, right between me and Kilroy. I respect that.
And it's the same logic that you guys is that they're just progressively going to get better. You know, Dame being in the locker room is going to be a big presence, whether or not he's playing or not.
Yeah, and I think that's going to
Good
change
things to
the
come in
whole.
Portland, but as I can say as a San Antonio fan, good things take time.
Good things do take time, and this team is still a bit young, right? Like they have a couple of vets with Drew Holiday and Dame, but the team as a whole is pretty young.
They'll get there.
And yeah, and I forgot they have
Watch for
Jeremy
them to
Grant.
have some big wins over some unexpected teams. That's the kind of energy that Portland's going to need this year. Say
Yeah.
they go into Denver and snag a win because Jamal Murray's out.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean that wouldn't be surprising.
I'll say this:
All right.
my main
Yep.
problem with Portland this year, I actually have them 11th in the West, and the 10 teams I have in front of them, I don't see a world where, barring major injuries, which we always say we won't, talk about on this show. I feel pretty safe about those 10. So even if we're wrong a little bit by Portland, Portland manages to get to 41, 42 wins.
Mhm.
I think the West is just a little too, safe, at least when it comes to making the playoffs.
Now I will say this: I didn't look at that the everything that in detail, like where they rank on mine, but they are fourth, right, in their division. I have them. I have, 3 teams obviously ahead of them, and then only 1 team below them. So like I'm not like totally sold on them as a team. Like I don't know, even if they make the play-in, they're not. I don't think they'll make any real noise or anything. But I do like them enough to give them 4 more wins than they had last year.
Yeah, I'll go as far as to say, and I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but my Western big picture, to me, there's a top 4, then 5 through 9, and then Portland is in the maybe could crack number 10. But I'm sorry, I don't see a world where Portland's one of the 9 best teams in the West this year. At best,
There's too much good going on in the West right now.
Right, they're trying to.
Oh
win
yeah, no, I don't
40
disagree.
games just to lose to Denver or lose to Oklahoma City in the first round. But
yeah. All right, let's move to the next team, which is Minnesota. Last year, Minnesota went 49-33. I actually have them taking a bit of a step back. I got them going 46-36. The West is really good. I think they're going to get, that because of that, that's going to hurt them a little bit, right? Like, I do have to say, Rudy Gobert looks like he's in fantastic shape, and that's going to be great for them, right? Like, that, but again, 46 wins is pretty good, is solid. It's good. I just do expect a little bit of regression. Maybe 46 might be a little bit too low, but I think it's fine. I mean, this team is, this team is a good team. I think they will be one of the better teams in the West for a while. They look, or at least they have the components for it. We'll see if they want to continue to spend money. They do they are a bit cheap, which is why Karl Anthony Towns is a Knick now, right? So we'll see how that goes. Mongo?
I'm going to shock you here, to be honest. Give me 54 wins, good for second in the West, and I will tell you why. One word: default. I'm giving them 54 wins because somebody has to win these games. The Clippers had 2 70-year-olds. Doncic is played in Europe, and LeBron is 1 year older, so they're not going to make a big run during the regular season. Denver, Jokic played during the summer, and they got to figure out how to add in Cam Johnson, right? John Morant can implode on himself at any moment. Zion can break himself at any moment. Houston's figuring out how to use Kevin Durant. The Suns have like 25 new players. Just keep going down the list in the West. There's question mark after question mark after question mark. Minnesota, yes, they lose Nickeil Alexander-Walker, but otherwise it's the same exact team, and everyone's happy. Everyone's paid, right? They paid Randall. They paid Reed. Gobert looks excited to be back. Obviously, Anthony Edwards always looks ready to make a run anytime he's out on the court. I mean, I feel very safe about this team. And again, if this is a power ranking, who do I take in a 5-7 game series? Maybe I'm not putting them second in that category. But just when you look at every reason why the rest of the West might just not either want or be able to give 1,000% in every game this year, Minnesota's going to steal a lot of wins just by sheer comfort.
That's fair. I understand. I mean, we're not terribly far off, right? I mean, we're in a similar ballpark. I don't know. I just feel like the West. I do get what you're saying, but I feel like the West is just strong enough that someone's going to take some hits. And
Can we make a habit of muting Tommy when he's trying to I want to say make popcorn, like he's trying to make Jiffy Pop, but I'm not fully sure what he's doing now. Tommy, where are you in San Antonio?
is that a night? Why,
What?
dude?
Did you just kill that innocent Jiffy Pop? Did you?
He
You
doesn't
gotta
know that
cut it
I'm
open
muted.
after it pops, right?
He's muted right now. Anyway, this is the. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I get what you're saying. I do. I don't know. I just feel like someone's got. I'm giving Portland 4 more wins. Someone's got to take losses.
That's fair. And I'll tell you, I sold it at the beginning of the show as it's going to be an exciting year. You could also say it's a year I already don't care about. When I initially went through the win totals of the year and added them up, I was well under the league being 500. I'm down overwhelmingly on a majority of the league, at least when it comes to their ability to care night in and night out. Now, again, talk about Giannis in a 7-game series. Talk about if Joel Embiid can get healthy in a 7-game series. Talk about Steph Curry shooting the lights out in a 7-game series. Those are different stories. But when you talk about how many teams can you expect to just be lights on at the stadium, ready to go, night in, night out, second game of a back-to-back, anything of that nature, playing on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, on whatever day where they really don't want to be there. There's no reason amongst the other teams. Minnesota just looks the part of a team that's going to be comfortable every day.
That's fair. But don't forget they got Julius Randle.
That's why I don't have them winning at all, buddy.
Nami, do you want to at least give us your win total before we move on to the next team? Or are you still preparing dinner?
No, I'm quiet. No.
And
Am I? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure I was muted still. Okay. So what was Minnesota's record last year? Just for reference.
49 wins.
I'm going 47. And
Okay, so I'm the only guy going the other way this year.
I'm only going the other way because I want to present the possibility that, because I think Mongo could be right. 54 is totally possible. But because the West is so volatile right now, Minnesota might not be the team that gets all those wins.
I mean, so part of it is also like we have no idea what's going to happen to the Clippers, right?
Yeah, the Clippers are a big deal.
That's a big if the NBA does anything or not. Like, look what happened to Minnesota when that happened with Joe Smith.
Joe Smith, yep.
Back in where they voided his contract and stole all of the first round picks from Minnesota. So that's a big question mark, right? Going into the season. I imagine it won't get resolved this season, but that's still going to be, in the background. The NBA is much slower than it used to be with figuring these types of things out.
It's not as stern as it used to be.
All right, Tommy's been kicked out.
Season 5, the year we lost Tommy twice in the first 14 minutes.
All right, let's move. That's true. Let's move on. We're moving over to the Oklahoma City Thunder, who last year they won it all. Spoiler, they had 68 wins. So I think 68 wins is astronomical and not sustainable. I do have this team going 62 wins, though. But I think 6 losses is a big step back, right, for this team. They're still going to be – I still think this team is still hungry. I think that they feel like people don't respect them, even though they just won the championship, which is silly to say. So I expect them to still go out and try to prove themselves again this year.
Oh, don't get me started on why that probably is.
But I do think that 62 wins. I think that's more than fair. Could they win 70? No, I don't think so. I think the West is just too good for them to win 70. I think 68. Again, the West is just too good for that. I mean, and their teams are going to be taking them more seriously now, especially seeing they've been good for a few more years. Right? It's not just this year. They were good the year before, and they've been good the year before that. And you're expecting Denver to be a better team this year. Portland's going to be better. Minnesota is familiar with them. The Jazz are a team. Things like but like in general, the West is better. There is a lot of injuries in the East, which might also affect them in keeping them in the 60 to 65 range, which is why I felt comfortable with 62 wins, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you. And honestly, Vegas has them at 62.5. And so, by the way, for we'll say legal reasons, I'm not going to say where in Vegas ever. So if you're at a different site than I am and you're up or down a number, sorry, it just is what it is. But where I am at is at 62.5. So most people do believe in that regression. I actually go a little bit lower. I go down to 59. And I'll be totally honest, the main reason I do that is because
scandalous.
Why would they? Listen, I told you Minnesota is my 2 in the West, and I have them at a generous 54. If they're going to be up 7 games with 9 to play, why are they going to go for 63? Why are they going to go for 64? It's not going to make sense. So I think they kind of putter out at 59 from a place of who cares. Again, power rankings be damned. They're my number 1 in the power rankings too. But back to what you said, Gilroy, I do, and I know Tommy has his own theories here. But this one I think is a little bit different when it comes to the respect or better yet, the lack thereof for the Thunder. And it has to really do with what Adam Silver has created in basketball, where it really looks like literally anybody can win one, which is Adam Silver's dream. But at the same time, we don't respect that Toronto Raptor team that came and broke itself up in under a 3-year span. People literally don't acknowledge LeBron's 2020 win, right? I actually can't remember if the Miami Heat won a championship in the last 7 years or just keep getting to the finals and getting routed. I genuinely don't remember. I don't think they did, but if they did, good on them. The point is, it's easy to win one. Just statistically, we have the proof, right? In Adam Silver's version of the NBA, it is easy to win one. Like a third of the league has done it. It's who's the first team that can figure out how to consistently win in the Adam Silver era that will start to get the respect. Because again, Milwaukee won one. No one's high on them this year. People have them going backwards. Giannis is still there, right? Back in the 90s, if Michael Jordan was on your team, you were the favorite. It didn't matter, right? In the 80s, Magic and Bird were the favorites. It didn't matter, right? We've left the star era, and so you're going to have to do more than just win one because a bunch of people have won one in the last 7 years. So
it's been a different champion, hasn't it? Every year,
a different champion for 7 straight years. Absolutely, that's why I'm specifically saying 7. But if you go back to the even further, you started to see this kind of as, Kobe and Duncan and everyone started retiring. So that's where the lack of respect is, because right now winning one just puts you in a category with a bunch of other teams. And listen, it's not Oklahoma City. I mean, if somehow the Sixers win one this year, everyone stays healthy and they make a run. Okay, cool. You won one. If the Clippers banana boat from hell manages to stay together and win one, cool. You won one, right? I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that could win a second one this year, but it's not terribly impressive until somebody puts together, a second one. It's why, with all due respect, like the MLS seemed to have a different champion every year for 15 years and nobody cared. Okay, it's fun to watch. It's a cool sport. I respect soccer, but at the end, it was what it was. Part of why the WNBA even had any credentials at the beginning, why people even tuned in, was because literally they started in 1996 and only the Houston Comets won during that millennium. It wasn't until 5 years later when, that first Comet team broke up that it was even competitive. people enjoyed that. I mean, the few people who watched and back then, but it was fun to see a dynasty starting to form. And so, the question is, can the Thunder actually start to do it before we start to respect them? Because there's nothing special about winning one. I'm sorry, there just isn't in the silver era.
Unless the Knicks do it.
Then we build a statue.
Unless the Knicks do it. Tommy, when you take yourself off mute and done eating your sloppy Joe. That's not a euphemism. I'm just guessing.
I am actually in the same boat with the Thunder. They probably sit right around or a little less than they were last year, but not because they regressed, but more so because why do they need to?
So if you could put a number to that, what would the number be?
60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I mean, we're all in the same ballpark, right? I'm the high one with 62. We're all in the same ballpark. We all think that they're going to have less wins than they did last year. Maybe our reasons aren't exactly the same, but they are pretty much in the same conversation, same ballpark. Let's move on to the Denver Nuggets. Last year, Denver won 50 games. This year, I have Denver winning 50 games. They still have the best player in the basketball on their team. They got rid of Michael Porter Jr., which I think is now a blessing with all that. Yep. So, yeah, that's it. That's where I have them. Nothing else to add to that. I think the Nuggets are a solid team. As you can tell, I'm not like going crazy with records here. I have like 40, 46, 62 is the highest, and then 50. I mean, they're all relatively close in numbers. Again, I think Denver is more going to concern themselves with the playoffs once they're there. So I think 50 wins is going to get them a solid seed, which is something that they will be looking to get. I'm too lazy to go look up my whole West and see where they actually lay. But yeah, 50 wins.
Yeah, I'm with you. And honestly, I don't mind the argument for 50. It's actually exactly where I have them. If anything, it's, the Vegas number is 53.5. People see this Cam Johnson trade like it's some sort of over the top, saving grace for them. And I don't know about that. I mean, he's a good player, but for any little bit of talent that he is better than Michael Porter, and for any level of health he offers over Michael Porter, you're also breaking up a team that won a championship. I mean, true or false, Michael Porter and Joker proved they could win together. True. True or false, Cam Johnson and Joker have proven they can win together. False, right? It's not a hard test. I mean, it's basic, just factual knowledge. And so I hope I'm wrong. I've always liked this team. I think Cam Johnson is mathematically a good fit for them. We saw what happened when you took KCP off that team. It became, a much more stagnant team. They need a good shooter like this. But, I mean, just take Michael Porter's injuries and personality and everything else and money and everything else out and ask yourself this question. If they traded Jamal Murray for a player one rung better than Jamal Murray, would you question that move? You would, because of what Murray has done for that town, what he's done for the continuity of that team. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. You would. Why would it not be the same? The only reason we're not questioning it as much is because Michael Porter Jr. is the fourth piece on that team, so he's deemed less valuable. But it's still the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I also think
we'll see how the season goes, right? Like, ultimately, that's why I'm not having them have. I didn't think they did enough to warrant more wins. I don't necessarily think they did anything that would be detrimental to them regular season wise. I think that's why 50 wins is a solid number. I think come playoffs, we can see a bigger issue of the team not having that continuity, the not the feel. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. wasn't like lights out in the playoffs, but when he had his games were big, right? Like, he's a very lethal scorer when he's in his rhythm. Jamal Murray is also really, really good in the playoffs. So that's nice to have two other guys outside of Joker who can do it in the playoffs. Now you only have one other guy. Aaron Gordon's good, but he's never been an elite scorer, right? Like that's not what you want. That's not what you have him there for. So you are losing that in the playoffs, which I am more concerned about for Denver than I am for their regular season.
For sure. I also, real quick, I think the trade they went for Saric out to Sacramento for Valanciunas, leads me to believe they're attempting to give Joker some rest, right? You wouldn't go out and get a true backup can eat minutes center if you don't plan on having that center eat minutes. So again, do I think that matters come playoff time? No, not at all. Do I think that means we could see a little bit more rest for him and see a few losses as a result? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to keep him right at 50.
Tommy?
I'm actually going to go 50 as well. My thinking here is you mentioned earlier, are there any teams that, can prove themselves and be consistent with the championship? If any team I think has the best odds of that, it's the Nuggets. Especially if they can win the second one, we could be looking at a Nuggets dynasty.
I don't think that's happening this year. I'm just not confident enough in this team to have them winning the championship. I have to see as the season progresses. Of course, I'm always allowed to change my mind once I see the teams playing.
Yeah, why not?
Let's wrap things up. A team that exists. The Utah Jazz.
29.
You gave them how many?
29 wins.
You generous.
I was very generous. I gave them 20. They had 17 last year.
You know what? Yeah.
I tried my best not to give any team under 20 wins this year.
I'm going 20.
I don't think I gave a single team under 20 wins this year. So I think that was just me being generous. I can check. Hold on. Yeah. No, I didn't give a single team under 20 wins this year. I just felt like that was that it's, I don't know. I just felt like comfortable with that because, it is the NBA. Come on, let me do what I want to do. It is the NBA. But, yeah. And now that I finally organized it, let's see. I have what? Why is this is not correct. Never mind. Here we are. For whatever reason, teams are showing up that aren't supposed to be. Okay, I have Denver as in a tie for second. There's
Nice.
two other teams in the West.
All right.
Anyway, what do you? Yeah, so I have Utah, 20 wins. Mongo, how many do you have?
All right, here we go. Tommy, we're going to play a rapid fire game. You can just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, or you can say yes or no. Kilroy, if you want to play along too, you're more than welcome to. The question is, the game is called Are They on the Utah Jazz? Here we go, sports fans.
So thumb up if they are, thumbs down if they're not.
Thumbs up if they are on the Utah Jazz, thumbs down if they are not.
All right.
Is Blake Wesley on the Utah Jazz?
Tommy, we can't see. There we go.
No, Blake Wesley signed with the Portland Trailblazers in the offseason. That was a no. Question 2. Is Yusuf Nurkic on the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, sorry.
Nurkic is on the Utah Jazz. He joined via a trade. Question 3. Is Kevin Love on the Utah Jazz? Kevin Love is on the Utah Jazz.
Why is he on the Jazz? Why is he not on the Knicks?
Trade with the Miami Heat. Question 4. This one's my personal favorite. Is formerly known as Nigel Hayes from Wisconsin, now Nigel Hayes Davis, on the Utah Jazz? After several years in Europe, he has signed with the Phoenix Suns. He is not on the Utah Jazz. And our last one, here's the tiebreaker. Is Jaden Springer on the Utah Jazz? You know what? I'll give everyone this one. He was, but he was recently waived. Sorry, guys, no longer on the Utah Jazz.
So more like
So that one's a little bit of a tiebreaker. You know what? I have him at 20 wins, and this is one of the dumbest teams in the NBA by a mile.
I'm glad we all feel that way. Oh Lord.
I think they're still upset they didn't win the Cooper Flag lottery.
Oh, and rightfully so. But man, you got to do. What a mess here. I mean, real quick. I don't want to. I know we're coming up here on the half hour, but according to NBA.com, their key additions are listed as Kyle Anderson, Kevin Love, Gorgeous Niang, and Yusuf Nurkic, and their departures are Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Colin Sexton, and then they waived Johnny Juzang and Jaden Springer. I mean, what?
Oh, that's so inspiring.
Gorgie Jang? Like the Gorgie Jang?
No, Niang,
San
not
Antonio
not
Spurs?
no Niang, not Jiang, with the N, not with the D.
Oh.
Wait, are there two people with almost identical names?
There's Georgie Diang, right? That's the guy from the Spurs.
Who was on the
And then
Spurs,
there's Georges Niang, Georges space Niang.
Also,
Okay.
is that Kyle Anderson, former Spur Kyle Anderson?
Yes, that one is former Spur.
Oh, Lord, he's
There is
still
a
in the
former
league.
Spur there. It's just not Blake Wesley.
That guy is still in the league somehow.
He says the same thing about you.
He's paired with Kevin Love, so that should be fun, I guess. A couple
Yeah.
of former Timberwolves together doing their
Kevin Love
Timberwolves thing.
should be with the Knicks off the bench.
I'd love that. I'd Kevin love that. So to wrap this up, by the way, do we all have in order? Do we all have Thunder, Wolves, Nuggets?
No, I have Nuggets, Wolves.
You have Nuggets, Wolves. Tommy, who do you have there? Nuggets or Wolves second?
I think I have Thunder, Nuggets, Wolves. I have to go check the tape, but I think I have to check the
But
tape.
we
I
all
think it
have
was
the Jazz
Thunder,
in
Nuggets,
last.
Wolves.
Right, and everyone has the Jazz about 15 games behind Portland, right? That should be one of the least competitive fourth place races of all time.
Yeah,
Delightful.
this Jazz team is so disappointing.
And you know what bothers me? My Spurs will still find a way to lose to the Jazz on some random December night.
Yeah, probably.
Ugh.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment somewhere. I don't know. Find a video, pick it, just write whatever you want. No, comment down below. Tell us who you have, who you have in their records, and who you think is coming out on top.
Unleash chaos.
Always.
Goodbye.
Love you guys.